Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Wherever you may be in the world, by the time you come across this video, let's just get right into it. Jail delusion, who eating the groceries, chaos. All kind of people putting duck sauce on the fried rice. There's drama. Careers are over. There's so much going on in boxing. There's only so much I can talk about in one video. But we're going to hit on a few things. So if you're driving, good. Because at least you have something to listen to for like the next 30 minutes. And just chill. Hey man, what's going on with Vergil Ortiz? Yeah, I asked you a question, McNicholas. Because I know you probably a Vergil Ortiz fan. What's going on with Vergil Ortiz? Missing opportunities? Or is he misunderstood? I think Vergil Ortiz is putting duck sauce on the fried rice. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to old VO, the conversation has shifted, and not in a good way. Instead of calling him VO for Vergil Ortiz, I'm starting to call him Gio for go. Go run your ass towards the duck sauce, because you can't make me believe that, these mega fights that they were trying to make with Zayas and Boots, Ennis, those fights fell apart because of Zayas and Boots, Ennis. You know what I'm saying? That's why fans are starting to say this shit looks bad. Looks horrible for VO after missing potential fights with those guys. So the narrative is growing. Is Vergil Ortiz pricing himself out or avoiding risky matchups because the dangers of the fight? Or is it that there's a crucial window here? I'm going to tell you what I think after sitting back, and doing my analysis, tabulations, critical thinking. I think VO, who I call Gio, I think he knew that Zayas and Ennis, they had the skill, speed, and hunger to make Ortiz hesitate. That's just how I feel. Now, doesn't mean it's true or not. It's just my opinions. But perception's reality in boxing. And I'm not the only one saying that now. So now the buzz is Ortiz is out the way. Let the real dogs fight. And I'm like, I kind of agree with that. Vergil Ortiz can fight. I'm not saying he can't fight. His manager, look, I don't know what all is going on with that guy. But I do believe that there's a bit of a pattern here when it comes to Vergil Ortiz. And I think he's putting duck sauce on the fried rice. I do. You can blame the manager, you can blame Oscar De La Hoya, but I'll be surprised with you. I am a bit shocked at how Oscar De La Hoya is the one who's looking like the person who is trying to be professional and the good guy. Now, I'm not saying Oscar De La Hoya is a good guy. I'm not saying Oscar De La Hoya is not about his own pockets. But what I am saying is, when I look at this, it looks like it was Vergil Ortiz and his manager who messed up everything. Now Vergil Ortiz is sidelined looking stupid. And Oscar De La Hoya is like, hey, we're going to keep partying over here. Raise the roof. We're just going to do it without your ass, Ortiz. Because you done nothing but raise problems for yourself, for me, and boxing fans are turning their back on you, as they should. So, hey, you put yourself out the way. Now we're going to let the real dogs, Gervonta, Ennis, and Zayas fight. And that could have been you. Now, Zayas and Gervonta Boots. Look, man, that's the new energy at 154. Zayas has that youth, has charisma, rising star. Gervonta Ennis, elite skill, dangerous. I do think Gervonta's been avoided. I'm not going to lie. And see, fans love this matchup. I know, I do too. I kind of feel like Xander Zayas is being fed to Gervonta Boots, Ennis, but the more I watch it, the more I listen to Xander, the more I say, holy shit, this is a real fight. This fight is no joke. And fans love the matchup. One is because they're tired of seeing Gervonta just sit around and do nothing. So most of them, they're happy to see Gervonta back in the ring. And the fight's taking place in June. So for those of y'all who are going to be around, I believe it's up at the Barclays. So it's going to be taking place in June. Madison Square Garden, the Barclays. I don't know. No, it's in New York. But this is it. What this feels like to me is hunger versus dominance. You know what I'm saying? One fighter is hungry, the other one coming to dominate. And that's Zayas versus Boots. And there's no politics involved with this shit. This fight got made so fast, it made your head spin. It can make you run home and want to eat the groceries. So no politics, no BS, nothing but smoke. How, like Gervonta Boots would say, fur, 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 fur. Anyway, I don't know who y'all got winning that fight. I'm just looking at Gervonta Boots and his boxing ability and everything. Then I look at Xander Zayas, his footwork, boxing ability, his commitment, man, to success, him fighting for Puerto Rico. I just think this is going to be a fight that's going to shock a lot of people. And when I say shock, doesn't mean I'm saying Ennis loses or Zayas is going to lose. I think Gervonta gets him. But I think it's going to shock a lot of people just how competitive it is. Y'all got to remember, Gervonta's up at 154 now. He's no longer at 147, folks. Gervonta is at 154, and Gervonta's expected to do the business. But Xander Zayas, I think people are gonna blow their mind to see him and his defense, his combination punching, his stamina, his punch selection, his footwork, his ability to make reads, his ability to time, his ability to up it, to dig deep and fight and try to make Gervonta uncomfortable. I think they're going to be surprised at his size, at his reach. They're going to be surprised at how he's landing on Gervonta. So Gervonta's not going to be able to come in there and start goddamn dancing around the ring and shit, you know what I mean, like Dancing with the Stars. He can't be in there line dancing, heel toeing, no electric sliding up in there. He need to be focused. And after the first 4 rounds, if he establishes control and starts to really dominate, then he can start to do the Gervonta Boots in his dance and act the fool and play to the crowd. But even then, I wouldn't encourage it because Xander Zayas, he's in the position he's in for a reason and he's no joke. But that being said, who wins? I don't know. I'm leaning towards Boots. But I'm telling y'all, Xander Zayas is a big boy. Now, moving on. Deontay Wilder. Oh, Lord have mercy. Deontay. Amazing fighter, amazing right hand, amazing personality. But a guy who is at a crossroads. The career's on the edge, man. And look, I'll always root for Wilder. But his career's at a crossroads, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always going to root for him. He's facing Derek Chisora. They fight this weekend. And you know what that means? Well, don't worry, I'll tell you. You're welcome. It means either he extends his career or this could be the end. I mean, it's pretty goddamn simple to hood champion. Wilder's either going to get in there, put the bing-bings on Derek Chisora, or you're going to end his career. I mean, it's that simple. Now, Wilder's already faced criticism after appearances with Simon on TalkSport, where Wilder went out there and was going off, you know, about Tyson Fury cheating, about race relations, and he just went out there and lost his shit, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, he's back in the UK because it's fight week and he's getting ready to face off and do the weigh-in with Derek Chisora. And just like I said, he already catching his ass out there with criticism. He went on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, man, started bringing up all that stuff again, putting it back out there, kind of reintroducing that information to the UK fans, just stirring the pot, getting people emotionally charged. You know what I'm saying? Because out there in the UK, they know Wilder can fight, but they don't like him. He's a Yank. He's a Yank that keeps saying that Tyson Fury cheated, but there are no claims. Keeps making these controversial statements and just turning people off. So the UK fans, they're not feeling him right now. Meanwhile, Chisora, he's coming in with that mindset. Win, no respect, no friendship, just victory. Run the Yank up out the UK. Yank the Yankee out the UK. Throw his ass back over there in America. And Wilder is feeling it already. So Derek Chisora has an upper hand, people. Because one person's comfortable, the other one's not. And you can look at Deontay Wilder's body language. You can see wherever he goes, it's almost like he's thinking about who's watching him or people's opinion of him. pretty damn sad to see, to be honest with you. But Wilder's in deep, and he needs a statement performance. But he did it to himself. And I'm not saying he's wrong for anything that he said. I'm just saying he made a choice to talk on certain things and to not talk on certain things. And as a result of the choice, he got to deal with the consequences. There's some people who support him and some who don't. And that's just his reality. So can he do the business in the ring? I don't know. But I'm rooting for him. But I'm telling you, Derek Chisora, he doesn't see Wilder as a friend. He don't see him as a brother. This is no African connection. Hell no, this ain't coming to fucking America. They got a job at McDowell's. The hell out of here. That's not what's going on. Derek Chisora, this is his 50th fight. The UK fans have always supported him. That man has made millions of dollars because people spend their money to come see him. You think Derek Chisora is going to get inside that ring and play buddy-buddy with Deontay Wilder? Man, he going to get in there and try to just tranquilize that dude, man. It's going to be violent. So hopefully Deontay Wilder's not gun shy. He can pull the trigger. But even if he pull the trigger, if he's not hitting his target, his ass going to be in trouble. I think Chisora's just going to grind him down. Wilder can't out-wrestle him. He can't keep him off him. And Wilder going to be getting hit with all kind of shit. I think Chisora going to hit him with elbows and everything. You watch. Chisora is going to try to destroy him. But speaking of someone who's destroying, more like destroying themselves, is Gervonta Davis. All that talent. All that talent, man. And then he got all this trouble. How Gervonta Davis always ended up in some kind of shit? Now, of course, I was defending him. And there were a lot of women out here, they didn't care. They weren't defending Gervonta Davis at all. He's a habitual woman beater. Hood champion. How dare you come out here and say you just got to wait to see a video. If what they said about him, if they've been saying this about him consistently from multiple partners, there's probably truth to it. From where there's smoke, there's fire, hood champion. Now to that I say in the most respectful way, under normal circumstances, hey yo, you woman, hold your horses and stop taking it to the goddamn stupid. But in this case, I'm going to tell you, hey yo, you woman, you were right. Hood champion needs to hold his horses. Stop taking it to the goddamn stupid. Shut up and listen when the ladies talk. Because goddamn boy, y'all knew he was guilty. The bottom line is, I don't know why he grabbed the girl or not, but the video circulating. He did. He grabbed her. You can go out there and look. It's floating all around. But he did grab her. He grabbed her by the neck. And that's all bad. But fans are divided now. Some are trying to defend his talent. Others are like, yeah, whatever. His actions outside the ring are damaging his image. You can keep trying to defend this guy, but I don't see how you can do that. But the reality is this. He's still one of the biggest stars in boxing. But every incident adds pressure from fans, sponsors, media, especially the women, boy. They don't like Gervonta Davis anymore. They know he can fight, but they're looking at that and they're saying, we can't do it anymore. What is he, 5'5", 5'4"? Everybody's saying that's that short man syndrome, Napoleon complex. Gervonta Davis should be eating the groceries better. Or someone should be eating his groceries because he's too fucking angry. Little short guy running around here, man, just grabbing on women, hitting on women, yoking up women. And you know, and I'm going to be honest with you, right? And I'm going to be very real with you. I'm 50. I was young once. But I just got to be honest with you. I never been a guy who was about grabbing on no damn female. You know, I've had women jump through my, like, this is no kidding. You know, I've had women jump through my windows and shit. I should have had them locked. But pull out the screen and shit and open the window and jump through and catch me with other women, all kind of bullshit. Cut their ass out my drawers, and I talk about it all the time. I laugh my ass off about it now, but that shit was a horrible feeling. Women scratch my face and all kind of crazy shit. But I never once thought to grab someone by the neck. Don't get me wrong, I felt to put a little bit of Ike Turner in their ass, but I never thought to do something like that, especially go into someone's job. And first of all, these guys got to understand. Well, you know what the difference is? I was dealing with decent women. I never dated a stripper or some woman who worked in some strip club. I never dated them. I've dated, I was messing with a couple girls who worked at Hooters. A couple little nice honeys, but never no strippers and all that. Nah, because I always feel like you go catch a ringworm up in that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? You go up in a strip club with them girls and they're, especially some of them, man, with the Crown Royal bag and shit. Be like, man, get your ass up. They couldn't come over by me. I'm like, get your ass out of here. We used to go there. They used to have these little nights where me and my crew used to roll out. And we'd be in there. And once I see one of them come by me, I'm like, get out of here. You ain't doing me no favors. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, oh, my God, he got an attitude. Like, yeah, that's just how I felt. So when I watched Gervonta Davis up in the strip club grabbing on a woman, I'm like, my man, you already knew. If you weren't getting, before you became this superstar boxer, my man, you weren't getting women like this. So when you go out there and if she's out there chasing after someone else and not talking to you, you should already know what the deal is. It's an arrangement. She want what you have. She give you some pussy. You give her money. That is what it is. They ain't into you. Without your money and fancy cars, they wouldn't be talking to your ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, I know you're obviously damn hood champion, keeping it way too real. No, I'm just being honest with you. As a dude, as a man, come on now, stop fucking around. Especially these guys who are boxers. If you out there, everything is money, 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 fancy cars and jewels and doing shit for these females, they ain't into your ass. They ain't into your ass. Period. And then you can't go out there and get mad for whatever reason and find you a decent girl. You know what I'm saying? Because them motherfuckers up in the clubs, strip clubs, yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, Gervonta Davis catching his ass right now, and who knows what's next for him. I know he's supposed to be fighting Pitbull Cruz, but we just got to wait and see, you know what I'm saying? Now, speaking of someone else who has fans divided, but more fans don't like this person, Claressa Shields. Lord have mercy. Viral. Controversial. Out here talking about how Papoose was licking the coochie. Out here, we had no idea Papoose, they had a brown bag over there full of groceries and he was just diving in head first. We had no idea. We don't want to know that. Especially just the idea of Papoose licking the coochie of Claressa. Good luck with that one. But she trending again, man. Breakfast Club interview, talk all kind of crazy stuff, man, about Layla. And just going off and just saying all kind of nonsense. Breakfast Club, man, condoning that bullshit, baiting her, getting her to talk, getting her to keep going. They knew what they were doing. Created all kind of viral clips, all kind of viral moments. Then she continues going viral with this video of her with the child and encouraging the child to use profanity. Then she goes viral again talking about Pap licking the coochie. Now Pap is on Vlad talking about Claressa. I mean, it's every day is something. And then Dr. Umar is talking about how, black women are jealous of Claressa's relationship with Papoose because black women wish they had a man like Pap to give them attention. But the bottom line was everything she has going on is just the online reaction is, it's a little bit mixed, but it's become more critical. And here's the flip side. Attention equals spotlight. Spotlight equals opportunity. But the opportunity is for the upcoming women fighters. Claressa has done a good job to put a spotlight on women's boxing. Not for the right reasons. For all the wrong reasons, but the bottom line is people are looking. people are paying attention. So for the ladies, the spotlight's already on women's boxing. All they gotta do is get in the ring and dominate, score knockouts, put on top-notch performances. So the controversy could actually boost women's boxing's visibility. So the women need to recognize that they have a huge opportunity and go on out here and do the business. Now, as far as Claressa Shields and what she's going to do next, I don't know. But one thing I do know is her ass is going to keep going viral. She's crazy, man. Her and Papoose crazy. I don't know. I don't see how. I mean, they done come out here and figured it out. The whole world talking about them too. Speaking of someone else people are talking about, it's Sebastian Fundora. Cockroach man. 6'6" at 154. Let me tell you, he can't stay there forever. He's got to move up. Ain't no way in the world he can stay at that weight class forever. Now, history tells us tall, thin fighters move up. Make me think about Thomas Hearns and the multiple divisions that he ascended. But eventually, I just think with a guy like Fundora, his frame's going to demand it. He's going to say, look here, cockroach man, you're just too tall. You're too slim. And to know he's cutting down to make 154, that's scary. Some people are saying that, they need to check the scales. There ain't no way he can make that weight. But I tell you what, he could easily go to 175. All he needs is a few burgers and shit. His ass will be up at 175. He could throw 20 pounds on. I know he has a fast metabolism, but the idea that he's cutting weight to make 154, and you look at his build, it's just like, why? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, right now people feel like 154, Fundora's the man. It'll be hard for somebody to beat him, especially if he stays behind that jab. But I'm going to tell you, he needs to put some speed on that. Some speed on that jab, and then he will be even more of a problem. Now, Errol Spence. Errol Spence is returning to boxing. He's training with Ronnie Shields. But he's under the microscope. Fans watching recent footage of him training with Ronnie Shields, they're concerned. They're like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. He didn't look sharp, didn't look powerful, didn't look fast. But then again, on the pads, that probably wasn't what the goal was. It was just, some work. But fans are already creating a narrative that, Errol Spence is looking horrible. I'll say this. The narrative building is that he may struggle badly with Tszyu. Some fans are predicting a devastating loss. I'm going to go ahead and say this. You got one fighter who's active and who's good, Tszyu. One fighter who's inactive, who was special when he was fighting, and that's Errol Spence Jr. Will Errol Spence, who was a special fighter, coming back to the ring after 3 years off, will the inactivity pull his special status down a few notches from special to elite to great? So maybe Errol Spence now, after the inactivity has gone from being special down past elite, down to great. So maybe Errol Spence right now is just a great fighter. He's no longer special. But for Tszyu, how would you categorize him? Good, great, elite, or special? So for Tszyu, he's probably more around, I think he may be, before people consider him just good, I think he's probably between good and great. The bottom line is, that fight is pretty evenly matched. The only thing I'll say is, Tszyu is active as hell. He got a new trainer. He's looking good, looking confident, looking composed, and he's ready to do work. He's got a fight this weekend. Depending on how he wins that fight, he's going to have people talking. If he blasts his opponent out the ring, I'm telling you, they're going to be talking about Tszyu, Errol Spence, and the risk that Errol Spence is taking fighting that Australian monster, Tszyu. Now, speaking of the monster, Naoya Inoue going to be fighting Junto Nakatani. That whole thing is already sold out in Tokyo. People see it as a 50-50 fight. And I tell you what, whoever wins, on to the next. But the one person everybody's talking about is Inoue. If he wins, he moves further into global superstardom. Start talking. At this point, it's time to start talking dream fights. You know what I'm saying? Even talk of massive cross-division fantasies. You got to talk about a Gervonta Davis. You got to start talking about some of these other names. Just go up to 135, make Shakir come to 135 and make the fight. Like, Inoue has so many options, man. And the thing about it is if Nakatani wins, he has opportunities, but he's not the big name like Inoue. But I'll just say, if he wins, a new king emerges. Simple. Now, speaking of kings, princes, jewels, dollar bill, y'all. Turki Al-Sheikh. Boy, oh boy. Turki Al-Sheikh has changed boxing economics. You know what I'm saying? You got these promoters out here who are looking crazy because Turki Al-Sheikh has pulled back financially. Seems like everybody's in trouble now. You got fighters out here rethinking risk versus reward. Before, when Turki was out here pumping money into all these events, promoters were cool, fighters were cool, because they were like, shit, I'll risk taking a loss to come out here and make this Turki Al-Sheikh money. Now Turki is like, nah, I'm going to start focusing more on my own thing. Kind of good luck to you all. It brings a whole lot of danger. And the danger for fans is that fighters may start ducking again if the money doesn't match the risk. And I don't see how the money can match the risk, especially when fighters were getting used to that Turki Al-Sheikh money. So we got to sit back and wait and see. Just like we got to wait and see what the hell is going to happen with Rolly Romero. He has that dark horse danger, you know what I'm saying? People are, look, I don't care what no one says. Haney and Ryan Garcia are afraid to fight Rolly Romero. Yeah, I said it. They're afraid to fight him. Fans believe that he's improved. His power is real. Names like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, they're being mentioned in the same breath, but cautiously. Ryan already said, Ryan won't even say Rolly's name. Ryan's so scared. And Devin now talking about, the money got to be right to this. So Devin and putting duck sauce on the fried rice. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, both of them know if they fight Rolly, if Ryan rematches him and Rolly knocks him out cold, if Devin fights him and gets knocked out, that one big KO put Rolly Romero in superstar status. So they're going to keep ducking him because they can say what they want. They know Rolly is a threat. They know he's a problem. Now, Mayweather and Pacquiao. Let me tell you something. This Mayweather bullshit, I'm kind of tired of his ass. I'm ready to whip his ass myself, man. Nobody wants to see these bullshit exhibitions anymore. The Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, that shit was sounding pretty exciting. Although it's like, I ain't going to go out my way and pay no money for it, but I'll watch it. But just to find out that the fight's canceled. Because it's supposed to be a real fight. Then all of a sudden Floyd started wanting it as an exhibition. And now you're hearing that the fight's off. Will it be put back on? I don't know. I don't know if it's the venue. I don't know what it is. But Manny wants a real fight. Floyd does not. And there's nothing you can do. If you can't bring the two together to compromise. Why Floyd wants an exhibition with Pacquiao makes no sense. People want a real fight. They want to see them go into training, get in that ring, and put that work in. See, Floyd getting comfortable. He about to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition. Then he's going to fight another exhibition. Then he's supposed to fight Pacquiao. I tell you, at this point, some are saying that this shit is hurting Mayweather's legacy. Others saying he's just maximizing business. Everybody needs to hold their horses and stop taking it to the stupid. I'll just say this. I'm tired of Floyd. And I'm just being real. So I'm going to stop talking about him. The dude is an embarrassment at this point. Now, 2 gold medals. Well, Claressa Shields and her gold medals. Well, there's someone else out there who's an Olympic gold medalist. I think from 2020. Lauren Price. Skilled, disciplined, sharp. Now, why does she matter? Well, she's becoming a major face in women's boxing. And yeah, Clarissa's mentioned her a couple times. And when Claressa mentions somebody, look, that's going to equal attention and validation. So we need to pay attention to Lauren Price. She has a fight coming up. But she may be one of those faces of women's boxing, man, right now, who's going to go on to probably become the face if she can keep doing the business. But they're going to keep building her up the right way. And, you know, you got her out there. You got, in the UK, you got Caroline Dubois, Terry, so many women from the UK are boxers. But the bottom line is that Lauren Price, her and Claressa Shields down the road, will make it for a good fight. Speaking of good fights, this one's going to be interesting. Flip Hrgovic and David Allen. You know, the bottom line, David Allen, he's tough, but he's outmatched. Hrgovic, elite. People expected Hrgovic to do more in his career, but now he's active. But Hrgovic is no joke. So as far as that fight goes, one-sided performance. Dave Allen gets his ass destroyed. He doesn't stand a chance. You know what I mean? He does not stand a chance inside that ring. But it'll be fun while it lasts. Another fight that would have been fun is Crawford and Fundora. And it's funny that Fundora, according to Crawford, they ducked Bud. Bud said he wanted to fight. But they told him, hey, you know, you're not a big enough name. You know what I mean? They tried to insult Crawford's profile. All that means they put duck sauce on the fried rice. Now, as far as Sebastian Fundora, look, people can debate all they want. Did he avoid Bud? Was it business? I'm going to tell you right now. People are going to feel what they want. He ducked Bud Crawford. His team ducked him. Because you're sitting there watching Terrence Crawford in every fight make adjustments. He doesn't fight the same way in any fight. You watch this man making adjustments real time and figuring things out. And I'm telling you, Crawford has a 75-inch reach? Something like that. Keith Thurman had a 68-inch reach. So Crawford has a 7-inch reach advantage over Thurman. Crawford would have been able to get to Fundora. Thurman got there a couple times. And he was doing everything right, timing, trying to counter. He just was coming up short. Crawford's long arms would get there. So that would be an interesting fight if Crawford decided to come back. But I don't think he would. So the bottom line, boxing's exploding. There's all kind of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? From Vergil Ortiz, Wilder, Gervonta, Claressa, Zayas Boots. I mean, there's all kind of stuff going on. The fellas in Japan. But I tell you what, I am going to sit back here and enjoy the fights this weekend. And we'll see what the future holds for everybody. Keep cool, I'm in the breeze.